Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So this year in 2024, up to 85% of your Social Security benefits can possibly be taxed by the federal government. But we actually have some good news, as a new bill this year would eliminate that taxation, allowing you to keep more of your Social Security benefits. So we will be diving into that. But before we go ahead and dive into the main content of today's video, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Plus, if you would like to receive up to $10,000 in free stocks or $10,000 in free cash, in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Moomoo. All you have to do is, once you click on that link, is just sign up for a free account and then deposit at least $100. At that point, Moomoo will be sending you at least 5 free stocks worth all the way up to $10,000. And once again, if you'd really just receive the cash, all you have to do is, once you receive those free stocks, is just sell them for what they're worth and then transfer the cash value right back to your bank account. Okay, so last month, back in February, Senator Tommy Tuberville absolutely unleashed on the fact that Social Security, for most people, they're only receiving right around $2,000 to $3,000 per month. And then on top of that, they're actually being taxed on a certain amount of those benefits. For some people, you have to pay up to 85%. So he's basically saying that the federal government is scamming Americans with Social Security, that people should be receiving more, and $2,000 to $3,000 per month is just not enough to get by. Watch.
This is all a scam. I mean, we got people that's getting ready to retire that's going to try to live off $2,000 to $3,000. Impossible. It's impossible, because what happens, it comes up here, we spend it. We're $35 trillion in debt. We don't have union money. We're dead broke. And then taxpayers have $2 trillion in credit card debt. We are in huge trouble. In this body, we had better start figuring that out, because we're going to have a run on this city here soon, and there's going to be about 150 million people coming up here saying, where's our damn money that we paid in? I could have put my Social Security money 40 years in tax in the market and probably be worth 8 to 10 million today. But the federal government wasted it. So I'll get off my horse there. But it's good that we have this, because we got, I get a little pension check from education. I was part of a union. It's not going to help people. People are going to have to continue to work longer and longer. Am I right, Ms. Gender? Can you say something about Social Security and it being taxed for some reason? We're taxing people for the second time on Social Security that they put into an account.
Yeah, and I'd like to point out, when Social Security was first founded, those who established it was started out as a 2% tax, and they said this will never take more than 6% of your income. Today it takes 12.4%, and depending on whether you go with CBO or Social Security trustees, it needs to take between 15.8 and 17.5%. So we're talking about thousands of dollars more per year. It also was actually only originally recommended that the tax be up to $66,000, equivalent in today's dollars of earnings. But over time, it has expanded massively, and the money has been spent every year. So whereas everybody thinks this money's been set aside for me, no, for the past 13 years, every dollar that has gone out of workers' paychecks has gone immediately to pay promised benefits. And that's what happens when you have a system that enables those in charge of it to spend the money in the immediate term and leave the buck to the next generation that's coming along. And because Social Security has grown so much, it's actually to the detriment of lower income workers in particular, who have to pay such a large share of their paycheck to Social Security. They have little left to save for retirement. And then lower income and African American workers have the lowest life expectancies. So they are the most likely to get nothing back in return. 1 out of 4 African American men will die between the ages of 45 and 64 after having paid into this system for decades, tens if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they might get nothing back.
What's the solution?
I think we ultimately have to shift towards a universal benefit system. That's what true social insurance is. It does not make sense that we are paying the biggest benefits to the highest income earners. So gradually over time, I think we need to bend down the benefits for the middle and upper income earners, actually increase them for the lower income earners. Look at things like indexing retirement age to life expectancy, more accurate inflation index. And I think that workers need an option to have their money in something that actually earns a positive rate of return and that can't just immediately be spent by Congress.
I have a 28 and 29-year-old, 2 boys, got a job, working hard, paying Social Security. They ask me all the time, Dad, will I ever see any of that money? Will they see it?
I think they will see some of it. That's the exact same thing I hear whenever I ask a group of younger workers, and none of them raises their hand. So I think that there will be something there, but it's not going to be what has been promised.
So leave your thoughts and comments below. Should higher earners who receive Social Security benefits receive less and lower earners receive more? Or should we have some type of universal basic income for Social Security beneficiaries where everyone receives the same? That way we don't have the lower earners receiving such a low amount of money where they're basically having to work until their death. Also, Tuberville makes a pretty interesting comment that for a lot of people, instead of paying the 6.2% during their working careers into the Social Security Trust Fund, if they had just invested that money into their 401k, their IRA, or some other type of investment platform and received like the 10 to 12% in returns each and every year, they would have been actually receiving a lot more money doing that than what they would have, putting into the trust fund and then getting a small amount of that back. Also, do you believe that Social Security taxes should be eliminated altogether? Once again, in 2024, it's possible that you could pay taxes of up to 85% of your Social Security benefits. That is absolutely ridiculous. Now, if you do, I do actually have some good news, as there is a bill currently out there by Angie Craig, which, if passed, would remove all taxation altogether at the federal level on your Social Security benefits. So according to money.com, a small group of lawmakers wants to eliminate taxes on Social Security benefits as part of a proposal they claim could help fund the flagging program. Representative Angie Craig introduced the You Earned It, You Keep It Act in the House of Representatives in late January. It involves both sides of the taxation process. In addition to ending the federal taxes on these Social Security payments received by about 70 million Americans every month, the bill would also significantly increase how much of someone's wages are subject to Social Security taxes in a year. Currently, about 40% of beneficiaries pay taxes on their Social Security benefits. Critics of this taxation, which applies when an individual has $25,000 or more of income, argues that it unnecessarily chips away from Americans' retirement funds. The bill, therefore, amounts to a tax cut for seniors and a way to ensure more Americans can depend on these Social Security benefits that they've earned, Craig said in a statement. Now, as far as who pays Social Security taxes and how much you would pay, it shows here that benefits are generally not taxed at the federal level for people whose only source of retirement income is Social Security, but single filers between $25,000 and $34,000 of income may have to pay federal taxes on up to 50% of their benefits, and up to 85% of benefits can be taxable for people with incomes above $34,000 per year. Now, keep in mind that the thresholds that they're using here have not been adjusted for inflation since they were set all the way back in 1983, and if they had been adjusted for inflation, those numbers would have been boosted up to $70,000 for single filers or $90,000 for married individuals. It is absolutely ridiculous that you have to pay taxes during your working career to receive Social Security benefits, but then once you start receiving Social Security benefits, the federal government once again has their hand reaching out for these benefits, once again trying to take up to 85% of the amount that you receive. Let me know your thoughts and comments below. Would you like to see the removal of taxation of Social Security benefits? Let me know your thoughts and comments below. But that's all we have for today's video. I certainly hope that you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate it if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. And I will see you in the next video.